This first tale I'm going to tell you is when I was about 20 years old. I had finished 7 years of college, so I was ripe for the draft, and I was drafted, and I went down to LA Draft Center. Had my going away party the night before. I went down there knowing I wasn't going to go in, but I had to go down and take my physical. I passed, and I was picked to be a Marine, and I was told to go down and sit waiting to get on the bus to go to Fort Ord to be a Marine, going to Vietnam. But I sat there by the bus and I started meditating. I grew up as a young Christian and took Christ in my heart, Christ consciousness that is, and understood what that meant, and was sort of kicked out of the church at 13 for questioning the fact that a little girl born in China couldn't ascend because she never heard of Christ when she didn't have opportunity, and that type of logic is not Christ-like. And I challenge my church with anybody. It's what's in their soul. It's not, it doesn't have to do with you belong to any church or this society. So I had to quit the church at 13, and I studied all religions, studied with Manly P. Hall, Krishnamurti, and many, many greats. And so I started meditating, and I told God,
this is while you were waiting as a
waiting to
Marine?
get on the bus. Everybody's getting on the bus.
Yeah.
Everything I have is right there. I decided to leave it. Christ comes to me as I'm sitting there. I say, I'm not meant to kill my brother. I'm meant to help my brother. Please help me, and I will serve for 7 years straight.
You said that to Christ, or Christ said that to you?
To Christ, that I'll serve in Christ consciousness for 7 years straight.
Yeah.
Instead of going to Vietnam. Kind of a crazy deal today, but Christ comes to me.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Christ comes to me, and he tells me I need to get up, leave everything I own amongst people I don't know, and walk over to a doorway and go up 3 flights of stairs in the draft center. When I would open that door, I'd see old wood doors with crinkly glass and names with gold letters on it. And I was to walk in to see what the head doctor's name was, because it'd be right there. Because at the end of the hallway...
This was the actual draft center.
Actual draft. I've never been up there, so I go up 3 flights of stairs.
But I thought you just came from there.
But I went upstairs at the 3rd floor, where
Okay.
the doctor's offices were, not where they take you through, which is the 2nd floor. I went to the 3rd floor.
Okay.
And up there where he told me to go, which I'd never been, and I opened the door, and it was just like he described it. And I look at the head doctor's name, which was on that door in gold letters, just like he told me. And I got his name, and then at the end of the hallway, like he told me, a door would open and a crippled doctor would walk through, and he would be in a hurry. I was to go up and tell him that the head doctor told me that he would be the only one that would understand my injury, and I had to talk to him. Well, when I opened that door and I saw those crinkly glass and I saw the name and the door opened and the crippled doctor walked through, I froze. I froze in the shock of everything I just went through, and the vision was actually, I was in the vision. And so I walked up to the doctor and I told him, the head doctor said, you're the only guy that will understand my injury. Well, I don't have, he said, what's his name? I gave his name. Well, okay, what is it? And I said, well, the tendons on this side of my ankle, the ties were broken from a skiing accident, and they pop out from the side of my ankle. He goes, show me.
This was what you were told to say?
Well, it was what I was told to say.
Was it the truth?
Well, it is the truth, but they never acted like they did right then. So he said, well, what do you mean? So I went down to show him, and I turned my ankle, and it sounded like a shotgun went off, and they stuck out about 3 inches from the side of my ankle.
What did?
My tendons, where they were broken.
Oh, God.
And he goes...
Broken but healed in the past.
Healed, but
Long
he says, well,
healed.
you can't, you need that operation. I says, I know, that's why I'm here. Oh, no, you don't. You can't get in the Army and tell you yet. Oh, I've already passed all the physicals. I'm a Marine. I'm ready to go. No, you can't you can't fake us out. You have to have the operation before you get in the Army. I'm going, no, I'm here ready to go. And they go, I'm sorry, disqualified for military service, and I was out.
Now, what about the tendons?
Huh?
What about
Never bothered me my whole life.
No, wait, but I thought you said they popped out.
The ties, they did.
What ties? The ties for
there's
what?
2 ties that tie these 2 ligaments behind your ankle. See, right
Oh,
here?
yeah.
Okay, those are snapped, and so the ligaments came out. I turned my ankle, and they had nothing to keep them into the side of my ankle.
You mean just at that moment?
At that moment, yeah. And they sounded like a shotgun went off.
But when you walked, and then was it instantly healed when you walked out of that doctor's?
No, I just never worried about it. He told me I'd be crippled if I didn't have an operation, because he was convinced that I was you know, out of nowhere, all the other doctors that examined it, because I tried to get out because of it, no one would accept it. But he told me the plan to go use, and I was out. So I went and studied Christ consciousness, and that's where I learned to fly in Melchizedek's circle, because I was drawn to a guy that taught Christ consciousness, who was a true leader of the order of Melchizedek, of the ancient teachings, and I was drawn to that great practice, and it led my whole life because of that commitment I made and of Christ showing up. He showed up other times in my life and have saved me, but this time